People, deluded, I'm back again. Good morning. I hope you're all doing well and you're all safe and things like that. Now, the under 21s championship is about to kick off, but I'm sure you all saw the under 20 World Cup. Obviously, it was a good final. Congratulations to Ukraine. I think they've got some players that can go on to do decent things for them and decent things at club level. But they won 3-1 against South Korea if you didn't watch it. South Korea, very good nation. Kang Yang Lee, forgive me for the mispronunciation. You lot know I've made a video about him before. Valencia player. He was very good this tournament. He showed he's got an eye for an assist. He showed he's a quick thinker and he showed he's got a good technical level of skill. And he's only 18 playing in an under 20 tournament and he took it by storm. So I think South Korea is completely irrelevant, but Toulon, finalists with Japan. I think people got to pay attention to the Asian nations, and I think a lot of scouts have to pay attention to some of these South Korean players and Japan and Toulon, because these players can go on to do some okay things in Europe, in my opinion. Kang Lee, the pick of the bunch. Ukraine got some ballers, we'll get onto it. But we might as well talk about players that have caught my eye via the whole tournament. Again, forgive me for mispronunciations. First and foremost, Nicholas Shopeza. I cannot say his name. Shakazi. I cannot say his name. Let's just call him Nicholas, man. His name will be in the. It should come up now. To be fair with you, the one thing I like about this level is that you see good players and stuff, but you also see why when you look at a lot of these players where they're currently playing football, why a lot of them are on loan or they're not necessarily playing at parent clubs. Now, he's owned by Atletico Madrid. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He was at Udinese on loan, and he impressed me in the tournament. Good technical skill, provokes good positive attacking situations. He's got patches of quality. He scored a good Who did he score a good solo goal against? He banged it from somewhere. He's a strong dribbler as well. If he develops, he could be someone for Atletico, but I think he needs to raise his level, as do a lot of them. I liked Grinello of Uruguay as well. Again, he's a bit slight of frame, but he's very positive in what he wants to do. He's very energetic. Brian Rodriguez as well. I think he's still playing for a team in his homeland. I think he can play on either flank. He's shown he has an eye for goal. He's shown he can link up with his teammates. Looking more in his club career though, he's played 21 times and he scored 2 goals, 7 assists. So he's got a lot of adapting to do. And he's been scoring in the Copa Libertadores, forgive me if I'm wrong, which is the Champions League equivalent in South America, sorry. So he looks like a decent player, man, and he's someone scouts have probably been impressed by, and probably, again, he's still raw, as you see, by club level, but he's playing for Penarol. Maybe that's someone you bring in and you let develop and you let gain a work permit, and someone that could be sold on for decent profit. I think Darwin Nunez, striker, didn't set the world alight in terms of scoring goals, but I think he's a physical handful, as was a lot of strikers. And I think if he's anything to go by previous Uruguayan strikers, the 19-year-old, he's still very raw, but Darwin can go on to decent things. Thomas Cacon, forgive me if I'm wrong, 18 years of age, probably best in the sort of creative role. He tries to create stuff, he tries to break the lines, he plays with his head up, he just wants to get forward and wreak havoc. I really liked him. I've got the same player twice here, so let me delete. I also liked Juan Manuel Sanabria. Hopefully I've said his name correctly. He plays for Atletico Madrid. He has a good range of passing and he was fairly composed for me. I really liked what I saw from him. In terms of fullbacks, I saw some positive fullbacks that I would probably like to bring into Europe if I was an Arsenal scout or had any influence. But firstly, Edgar Elizalde, hopefully I've said his name correctly, on the right hand side. Modern day fullback, likes to get forward. More impressive for me was Ancheta, left back, 19, still very raw, but I think he can develop and have a good future in Europe. He has a good engine, gets forward well, decent crosser. You can all refine these sort of things, but I think he was decent from what I saw as well. In regards to the Argentines, I was impressed by Julian Alvarez. He's a decent winger. Christian Ferreira scored in the defeat against South Korea. I think both of them play for River Plate. Anibal Moreno caught my eye as well, as I've made a previous vid. I like how he plays in central midfield and he's not afraid to shoot from range. Barco, like you've seen, he's probably one of the players that has alerted scouts the most and one that will write the headlines. Scored some good goals, probably without a doubt one of the stars of the tournament. Defender's nightmare, to be fair with you. Good technical base level. Looking at his career, he done all right last year in America, but the season before he had an adapting period, and I think he plays for Atlanta. Forgive me if I'm wrong, because I made a video about him. He's been linked with Arsenal, and he's decent. I think they also had a left back a midfielder called Vera, who was decent, and they had Adolfo Granch. I cannot say his name, but he was a physical handful up front. He scored a decent amount of goals. From the American side of things, where does that go? From the America had some decent players. I think Weah had a good tournament. To be fair, I think this is why I like tournaments like that. You see some 18-year-olds and things like that. You see some people that might shine at this level but struggle at first team level. You see some players you can see why some players are on loan and not playing at the big clubs they're on loan from or technically owned by. I think Weah had a good tournament, and if he's not got a permanent or loan move lined up, scouts have to have taken him in. So I think Weah, whatever you want to pronounce him, PSG youngster, was good. Sebastian Soto, striker, he scored 2 against France. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. And he scored 1 against Nigeria. Good young striker, taker of chances. And when you look at a lot of these American-based players now, or players that are playing for America, they're at European clubs, so it must be quite promising for them. Dest at fullback was obviously amazing, as you've seen with him at Ajax. Alex Mendes, lovely range of passing, and is not afraid to shoot from range. I think Durkin was a hard worker. And I think Keita, the left back, he definitely had his hands full, but he worked hard. He could have even played at centre half, if I remember rightly. I need to start writing these matches down, to be fair with you. But America had some decent ballers. Obviously, they had De La Fuente and things like that. Obviously, you had the typical ballers in this tournament, people. You had the French, obviously, with the names they've got. The Portuguese. I think both sides, especially France, to be fair, should have done better. I think there was way too many rotation in the France side. Considering the stars, the experience they have, it didn't go to plan for them, in my opinion, man. Croissants had a good tournament, but yeah. So that's it in regards to the Americans. There was a couple players from Mali that caught me. Sambu Sissoko looked like a good midfielder, and as did Koyota. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He can play on the left and the right. He's got a good shot on him. I think he's already playing for Salzburg, and he's on loan to that club they have in Austria. So he's already been picked up. Sambu Sissoko, he works very hard and puts in a committed performance. I wouldn't say he's like he's how can I describe it? He works hard, man. He tries to win the ball back for his team, and he's fairly composed. I was purposely staying away from comparisons with him. In regards to Norway, Tobias, I cannot say that name. Bokiji, I cannot say his name, but I really liked him. He was one of the first players that really impressed me at the tournament, because when I was watching him, he was just screening the back four, and it was just some of the passes that he was doing. It's like, first pass I saw, I was like, okay, cool. Have you got that in your locker on a more recent basis? He's doing it on either side. He's switching play. Very good passer, and he's 20 years of age. Really good passer. Like I said, his profile surprised me, and he's probably one of my highest recommendations, to be fair. I wouldn't say he's a defensive mid, but he sat in front of the defence and looked to start moves and protect them and things like that. So there's that. Who else have we got? We've got some more, but where are they? Yeah, in regards to the Colombians, who impressed me, Chucho Hernandez, good striker, and he can hit a free kick as well. Luis Sinisterra, hopefully I've said his name correctly. He plays for Feyenoord. I think there's Andres Perea as well. Hopefully I've said his name correctly. I defo lost some notes, people, because I defo had some more Colombian sort of players, if you get what I'm saying, people. I defo had some more Colombian players. I knew it. Colombia's Anderson Arroyo, he caught my eye, a defender. I think he's actually technically owned by Liverpool as well. He was decent. So they're probably the players that impressed me the most, people, in regards to this. Obviously, there's more players, but I don't want to kill it for you lot, so I'll make it into another vid. But on that note, people, Deluded, thank you for watching in regards to my World Cup Under-20s scouting reports. Thank you for watching. Like I said, let me go and do the rest. I'm out.